Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Mel Chadwick. Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you are a regular viewer. It's lovely to have you here. Today I'm going to be sharing my sketches from my sketchbooks, and they're going to be all related to my summer drawing prompts. Each season I've been sharing a number of drawing prompts, and so far on this channel you've seen me share my winter drawing prompts, my spring drawing prompts, and now we're going to be looking at my summer drawing prompts. Hopefully there'll be one more season, and that'll be autumn season, but you can find all of the drawing prompts over on Instagram, and I've also shared them in the community tab here on YouTube. So if you want to kind of follow along, do your own drawing prompts, then you're very welcome to. So let me just share the summer drawing prompts. There are 10 drawing prompts for each season. I like to kind of keep it quite simple and manageable, so if you miss a week then you can catch up. If you enjoy doing one of the prompts, then you can do as many drawings as you want on it. There aren't really any hard and fast rules, other than I encourage you to go outside and draw from what you see around you, and that's really the motivation behind this, because I want to keep drawing through all the seasons, and so having some prompts just to help get me going is really helpful. If the weather, say, isn't looking so good, it just gets me outside. So the drawing prompts from summer are: week 1, wildflowers; week 2, pebbles; week 3, fishing boat; week 4, meadow; week 5, woodland; week 6, sea; week 7, signpost; week 8, cottage; week 9, shade; week 10, view. So they were for June, July and August. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the prompts with you. I will do a chatty kind of talk through of looking at the prompts. I'll also probably cut in some other footage which I may have taken when I was actually drawing them, and then at the end I'll just do a quick flick through without talking so that you can have a look. So I'll put some chapters in, so if you want to jump to those different points then you can. So first of all, let's just start with what kind of sketchbooks I'm using. I alternate between 2 at the moment, although this one now is finished and is due for a sketchbook tour in its own right. This is a Moleskine, and it was actually started a year ago, September 22, and was finished in August. So that's been over a year of drawing outside. So yeah, I love this sketchbook because it's really handy. You can see how easily it fits in my hands, and it means I can draw standing up, and it's easy to fit in my bag. It's lightweight. So that's the Moleskine, and I'll put a link to that in the description. And then the second sketchbook I've been using is this one. This is a Delusions Creative Journal. It was also started a year ago, August 2022. And again, it's got a year of kind of sketches in it, seasonal sketches. This one is a little bit heavier than the Moleskine, and as you can see, it's a little bit harder to just fit nicely in my hand. So if I was drawing in this, I usually have to sit and have it balanced on my lap. But I love it because the pages are really thick and they take a lot of mixed media, watercolour, you name it. The pages are really good and they don't fall apart or pile, which is why I love using it. And also it lays flat, so you can see I can draw across the double page without any issues, and it's easy to scan as well. So I'll put a link to that also in the description, so you can get one yourself if you like to. So you'll see with my sketches, sometimes I'll do maybe one sketch per prompt, but other times I will explore the subject more, and you'll see that I'll have quite a few different sketches. I also find that particularly in this list, I didn't stick in order to the prompts, and sometimes I would return to the theme again. As I've said, there aren't really any hard and fast rules with this. It's really just to encourage you to go out and sketch from life. And that's what I was thinking when I was setting the prompts themselves. So here are the pages that I did for the wildflower prompt. So this was 2nd of June and the 3rd of June. I was actually at Lewenick Art Studio. I was sharing some of my sketchbooks at the Open Studio event, and I was selling some cards and prints, and so it was a beautiful week, sunny week, and Lewenick Studio is surrounded by farmland and woods and trees, flowers, garden, so lots of inspiration to draw from. And I drew a few of the wildflowers that were in the garden. This was also Lewenick Art Studio, and this one I would say would fit into the woodland prompt, but there are some gunnery here, and it was by a pond. And again, this was also Lewenick, and you can see there are some wildflowers here, but my focus was probably on the building on that one. And then there's another view. You can see the flowers here. As with any of these prompts, you can kind of take them where you want. You don't have to stick religiously just to the subject. I think the whole idea with prompts is to just start you off and get you thinking. So yeah, that was really nice to actually draw each day and be inspired. I'm going to turn to this page, because this was when I was at Tregella's farm and I was making flower crowns from the wildflowers, and I thought it'd be really nice to sketch one of the crowns that are made. You can see that again it's made up of different wildflowers. We've got a willow base, and then hedge mustard and tree mallow and barley, and I thought that was a really nice way of drawing the wildflowers. So on to pebbles, and I'm going to go on to this page. We've got some collection of pebbles here. These are from Mullion Cove. There's a little pebbly beach down there, and then there's also lots of fishing boats also in that area. But yeah, the pebbles were the focus, and I just love the different variety of colours and textures that you see there. So I captured these with watercolour and then added texture with brush pens and details with the pencils. So the next prompt is fishing boats. This boat was actually drawn at Porthleven, and also this sketch is actually done at Porthleven. So over the summer I did a few sketch walks, and whilst I was waiting I just sketched in my sketchbook and drew what I could see, which was a lot of fishing boats, and I thought that then fitted with my fishing boat prompt. What is good to say at this point is that these were all done on different days. So this was done one day, and then this boat I drew on another time I was in Porthleven, and then obviously the pebbles were done on a different day. So you can see how you can build up a spread. You don't have to do the spread all in one go. That's what I like actually also about sketching. It is manageable. You can build up a spread. You could spend 20 minutes doing one thing, then another bit of time, and you'll soon have a nice spread. There's another fishing boat that I did here. This was at Mullion Cove. You can see 26th of June. This was actually again before I did a sketch walk around the cove, and I just used my prompt again. I was like, oh yeah, I can do fishing boats. And so this one actually probably took about 20-25 minutes. And I started off this time with my brush pens. You can see they're very quite saturated. And then finished it off with luminance pencils. I think also ink pens. And then a bit of water to blend. So the next prompt is meadow. So I'm going to flick back here. This is one of the first pictures that I did using some gouache paints. Perfect opportunity to share these with you. These were given to me by Crixus, who lives not far from me. We meet up maybe monthly to go for sketches. And on my birthday, not on my birthday, but this was given to me for my birthday, and she had pre-mixed these gouache paints, and it was really nice to have them. And so I thought I'd just play with them a bit and try them out. So this is one of the first spreads that I did with them. You can see it's very loose, and I really just used the gouache rather than anything else. You can see the colours here. So that was on the 9th of July. And then these aren't actually related to the prompts, but I continued sketching with the gouache, but hopefully I'll share these pages in a bit more detail when I do a big sketchbook tour. But anyway, I kept using the gouache and using it. Let me find another meadow. So this was another meadow page here, and you can see I started to incorporate the gouache with the rest of my materials. So I found using the gouache first was really gave me this base to work on top of, and then I used a lot of neocolours, also watercolours, and pencils as well. I love just the butterflies on the purple flowers, thistles, and this really soft, summery, dried out grass. So I think that's it for meadow, and then we move on to woodland. Not many woods on the lizard, but I did find some at Goon Hilly. So this was, a lovely day, and as you can see, I went a bit wild with my textures. What I really enjoyed about this was just capturing all the textures. Kind of made me feel like a little bit like a textile piece. I really enjoyed looking at the environment, and the more you look at something, the more that you see, and so that's why there is so much in this, because I just kept looking and seeing more colour, more texture. This then was created on the same day, just a bit further down, again continuing with the woodland theme. And then also included this pond. The Earth station in the background. The reeds, trees, grass, and then bits of the lake, which is kind of pond really is dried up. It was very, very windy. It was quite funny because here it was really sheltered, and then here the wind was just coming straight off, well, straight along, and it was very windy to draw. Again, I made use of the gouache first, put in some of the layers, and then added brush pens and neocolours, and then finally pencils on top of that. There's a few more woods here. Well, not really woods, but trees. That was when we were at Beniafon Gardens. And then that was also at Beniafon as well, like a fern wood. This was also a woodland spread. This is when I met up with Crixus. Again, I used my gouache, but also this was brush pens. I wanted to have the contrast because it was quite dark in the woodland, and it was nice to have these lighter shades of green just to give you the contrast. Okay, so the next prompt is sea, and I definitely have quite a lot of sea. So we went on a lot of walks over the summer, and I took my sketchbooks with me, and here this was like one long walk, and every so often I would sit and sketch the view. So you can see that it was along the coast. I didn't realise I actually have a creature. When did that come in? Anyway, there's you can see I was sketching quite quickly. You can tell that with the marks that I made. And that was another time we went on a walk. Again, more sea pictures along the coast, this time walking from Porthallow. It was quite a misty day that day. We came across the cove here, and there were two little red fishing boats. So that was quite nice to see. And then we have signposts. This is just the page that I have for signposts. I do like signposts, that I do find them quite interesting, and you've got a different variety here. You've got some of the National Trust signposts, and then these I think are just local rusty signposts, and then this was a rock which was just all mossy and had lots of lichen on it, and I thought that was quite interesting. And then this one was up by Coverack, over by the quarry. Again, I just really loved the colours that were there. I also included these in my calendar as well. The next prompt is cottage. So we have a few cottages here. These were again drawn on a walk over Lamorna Way. I just loved the view. This view was just amazing. Probably doesn't really capture it in this sketch, but I'd love to just go there again and sketch this view, kind of looking down from a high point and seeing the little cottages, and then right up to the top there was a cottage as well. And here is another cottage that I drew very quickly. This was a 10-minute sketch. This was actually also when I met up with Crixus. Sketched a couple of views, and this was like our last kind of 10-minute time sketch, and that was a cottage in Cadgwith. Okay, the next prompt is shade. I think I've got one sketch that I did on shade, and it's this one. This is at Poldhu Beach, and I was just liked there was the windbreakers that I was seeing, and I thought, oh, that could maybe work for shade, people getting out of the sun. But really, I just used it as an excuse just to draw the beach and the cove. By the time I'd finished this sketch, there were actually loads more windbreakers which were covering the entire beach. And then the final prompt is view. I guess you could probably say all of this could fit under view, but I wanted something that was quite broad, so it would be easy to do. This is the view that I chose to sketch for that prompt, and this was up at Kynance Cove. I prepared the page in advance as well with just a really light grey inky wash, and then sketched on top of it. I really like that way of working because you get these really interesting textures that come through, and it also gives you like a mid-ground to work on, and it's quite nice to do that rather than just work on white, you know, or cream pages. You've got that mid-ground, and it's yeah, makes it easier actually to get things down. So like the houses, they were white. I kind of used a white neo colour, or it might have been a light grey, just to bring them out of the page. I guess you could also say this was also cottages. You can see how I used the prompts. They were more of a starting point for me, getting me to keep sketching, going out and sketching, looking at what was in my environment. And yeah, it's been good actually to have these prompts because they just help keep me motivated and keep going. So we're now on to the autumn prompt list, and that started in September and runs until the end of November. So September, October, November. So if you'd like to join in, I will share the prompts here and you can see what they are. Hopefully they will be prompts that will inspire you during this period. Remember, you don't have to do them in the order that they appear. You can return to some of the subjects more than once. But yeah, just encourage you to go out and sketch from what's around you. Now I'll just share the pages without any talking. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video just by doing some swatches of the colours that I've kept using during this summer prompt list. I've done this for winter and spring. You can see the palettes are here, and just wanted to continue that, and I'll swatch them here. Hopefully I'll then swatch autumn here and we can see what the differences are, if there are any. I think there are differences. I'm going to try to just pick out the colours, the main colours that I used, and I'll swatch them because I feel like summertime I use probably more colours. I've got blues, greens, and then the kind of orangey yellows, apricots, pinks, and greys, although actually the greys should go over here, I think. So we'll start with the blues. It's an Ecoline pastel. Blue turquoise. I'm going to swatch the gouache as well. Sea blue. Indigo. I think these, or this one, is definitely new, a grey. It's a Payne's grey. Payne's grey isn't new, I've used that lots. Then we'll also be using these. I used these quite a bit actually, the Faber-Castell. I can't remember if I was using them for spring, but I definitely used them during the summer. It's a cold grey. So that was a warm grey and a cold grey. And then these are my watercolours as well that I take out with me. Most of them are Daniel Smith. There are actually, though, a few now handmade watercolours in here, Cornish handmade watercolours. I have done a video on those if you are interested. And I think I've also put a blob of white gouache as well, which has been useful. I'm not going to swatch all of these, but I just wanted to show you that I do use watercolours, and I tend to use them for base layers, mixing colours that I don't have available in my other kit, which is usually some blues and greens, and then also mixing up some like more violet purpley colours. Let's do some greens. Tombos. Do 6. This one was running out. Used that quite a lot. Love this pencil. Did I have that? Yeah, I had that in spring. Cobalt green and malachite. Also used this green. Looks a lot lighter here, but it's quite a little bit darker. And these Neocolours, this is a chromium oxide green, just love that colour, and a moss green, which I tend to go through very quickly. Then we've got these. See, similar, those are similar. Always good to have lots of greens. Got raw umber and sepia, great for contrasts. Then we'll do the warm colours. Start with light sepia. apricot, pastel red. Still love using the eco lines, they come in as a base. Then I've also brought in these that is a great colour, and you see it a lot on rocks around Cornwall. Green gold, that one, and sanguine, again rusty colour, see that a lot as well. New colours, yellowish orange, light flesh, like a goldy colour. I think that's an Inktense block. Another pink. And this is a new one, English red. Nice to use on brick. Or I think I was using it on roofs of houses, but even in nature there's this colour. This is coming in more now actually. And then let's just go through these pencils. Tangerine. Sienna gold, apricot, burnt ochre 50%, baked earth, anthracanoid pink. I used that on some of the rocks. Burnt sienna 10, that's a great colour. Olive brown 50, and we've got this purplish red. A lot of flowers have this colour, so it's very handy to have that in the pack. I should really swatch the rest of these. I should have put them in their order, but we'll see them here easily. So you can see colour mix that Crixus has put together. These are all, she's mixed them up for me, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what their colours are, but you can still see the range. The greys are great actually, very good neutral bases. There we go. Quite a colour selection. Definitely warmer, haven't you? Got warmer greens, and then you've got definitely warmer reds, pinks, oranges, muted, in the muted range, and then a few blues. See quite a difference, can't you? I'm sure there's colours that I've missed. Not so many darks. Definitely more in this red, yellow range. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed having a look through my sketchbook, and I hope it inspires you to go and create, go and draw outside yourselves. I look forward to hearing from you, whether you're following any of the sketching prompts. That would be great to hear. And I'll be back here with another sketchbook tour for the autumn prompt list. Hope you enjoyed having a look through my sketchbook, and I will speak to you again very soon.